Hey guys, so bought a new knife. Been looking at this one for quite a while, and finally pulled the trigger on it. Saved up some money. Figured that it was something that really caught my eye. It's a model I've been looking at for a long time, years. Never pulled the trigger at it, mainly due to the fact of already having a pair of two. I carry this knife a lot. It's been in my pocket probably the last month. But this knife here is about 8 years old. It's still very useful. It's not as um, smooth as it once was, but it's because I use it. Missing a pocket screw or missing a screw on it, but I keep it nice and sharp. It's very ergonomic. One of my go-tos. Usually between this and my Enduras. I tend to find my pocket quite a lot. But I saw this and I figured I'd buy it. So this is the Spyderco Manix 2 and tan micarta and cruwear steel. What do we get with this? So cruwear, a steel I've never used, not very common, besides on some Spydercos. Other knives I'm not aware of. Apparently, doing some reading on the paperwork that came with it, cruwear is basically an upgrade over D2 and A2 tool steel. So it's a tool steel. It's very tough, very durable. Takes a very nice edge. I have cut a little bit with this, but still very sharp. It's helped me break down a couple boxes the last few days, and it's just really nice. The micarta, it's anywho, tan. It came as a very light tan, almost like a khaki color. It's darkened up over the last couple days. So this will end up getting a nice dark patina on it, I assume. The blade will, as long as you keep it clean and oiled, should stay pretty nice for years to come, but it will take a patina as well over the years. Ergonomically, this thing is fantastic. For my hand size, it fits like a glove. Whether it's in the normal position here, if I choke up to the choil, very comfortable, very controllable, like its little, I shouldn't say little brother, but its cousin, paramilitary. It's got the same, very similar blade size, a little bit different shape, obviously, but very similar size. You have the choil. I'll do it this way here. Very freaking similar. I don't know how well that's showing up for you guys, but um, maybe a little more generic of a handle on the para, but even with the finger grooves on the manets, they're in the right spots. They form to the hand very well, and I got medium hands. They're not big by any stretch of the imagination. And I was debating between this and the XL. Because reading the specs and everything, I'm like, well, you know, 3-inch blade. It's pretty similar to the Para. I like the feel of the Para, but you know, the 3.5-inch blade on the XL. Anyway, end up getting this, and I'm glad I did because this just fits the hand so nicely. That extra 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch I would be getting on the XL, I don't really need. And for how this fits in the pocket, let's do a little comparison this way. Para is a little more pocket friendly in the shape, a little more tapered. This one's a little wider, going to take up a little more room, but really not a huge difference unless you're wearing, you know, really small pocket pants or something. I'll put it to you this way. This 5th pocket in my jeans here, it fits. Just fits. Not that anyone carries a pocket knife in their 5th pocket, but hopefully that gives you a little size reference. Action. Very nice. It's loosened up over the last couple days when it came. Opening it, very smooth. Closing it, a little stiff. But that's to be expected on most locking mechanisms, besides maybe a liner lock or frame lock. You know, your lock bats wear in, compression lock will wear in, your crossbar lock type stuff will wear in. And this has done just the same thing. It's a ball bearing lock, very similar to a crossbar lock, but yet different. I'll put it this way. So a common style lock is a lock back. How does this work? You have a locking bar that is under a rocker spring that keeps tension on this bar here. As you move the blade out, there is a little hook notch here, and the locking bar has a corresponding locking lug. Just picture a hook and a notch. So when this rotates up, they match. Shitty example, but when that comes up, it locks in place. You have this lock bar acting as like a stopping pin, and then that hook on the tail of the blade in conjunction makes a pretty goddamn strong locking mechanism. Even on a cheap $30 knife. Buck does a good job with those. Same for Spyderco with the Enduras and the Delicas. They do very good jobs on their lock bats. They go into like cold steel, triad lock, a little different, but anyway. Your crossbars and your, in this case, a ball bearing lock. The crossbar lock, like on a Benchmade or now a lot of other styles, you have that kind of notch in the blade, and you have a bar that when that rotates in, there's an opening, the spring pushes this bar into that notch, keeping your blade open. This one, you have this steel bar here, very similar to the steel bar on a lot back. Not the same, but similar. You have this very large cutout. Okay, basically from here to here is cut out. Yeah, is cut out on the tang of the blade. The top portion here is going to mate up with this steel bar, and if I open it up here, on the inside, get that out of my way, get some light in there. Yeah, there we go. You should be able to see there is a coil spring. I'm trying to get this in the best kind of light that I can. All right, so let's open it up. That way you can see the coil spring, okay? In front of that coil spring is don't know how well this is going to show up. Just barely see it. Little shiny part there is a ball bearing. So you have a ball bearing backed by a coil spring that when this opens, you'll watch and when that's open, that ball bearing that's under that spring tension is jammed in against the tang underneath this steel bar that is now stopping the tang. Pretty strong. If you were to make this fail, you really shouldn't be doing whatever the hell you're doing. I can't fathom anything besides maybe very severe batoning, which you shouldn't do with a pocket knife anyway, or sticking this in between like two 2x4s and trying to pry the hell out of it. You're not going to break this thing unless you're doing something really, really stupid. And last couple days, it's smoothed up very, very nicely. Even left-handed, which being a natural left-handed person, I'm still awkward using a knife in my left hand. Don't ask me. I'm one of those weird semi-ambidextrous people. I find some things actually easier right-handed just because that's how I've learned how to do it. Versus what should be natural for me is not. Like I said. Us lefties are weird. Deal with it. Let me just look at it. I'm happy. This will be my carry for a long time, I think. It's actually I have a couple knives in my list, but maybe, just maybe, I'll get the para version of this. But this one's done me well for nearly a decade, and I really have no reason to do it, but who knows. Stay safe, take care of each other, and yeah. Grab you a Spyderco if you got the itch for a new knife. You won't be disappointed.